We're heading to the stomping grounds of Freiburg. That's right, we're going into Inferno, and the matchup is going to be between OpTic Gaming and Splyce. We did just see them go head-to-head on Overpass, where Splyce did just have the upper hand in the first part of the matchup, but it was not enough for the squad, this new international squad that is OpTic Gaming. I'm here at the Xfinity Analyst Desk, joined by Launders and Scrawny, and we're going to get right into this thing real quick. So, is the King of Banana going to be able to hold it down against this Splyce squad?
I think when you think about the motivation of Freiburg and how him playing on a new team might reinvigorate his play, that if it's on any map, it's probably going to be on B side of Inferno. And I think hopefully they get to play CT side so we get to see it.
Hopefully do. Give me quick predictions. Ready, go.
16-8.
16-8.
That was a vague. So both OpTic, OpTic, right?
Yeah.
Well, all right, you might be onto something. Let's go ahead and tie in now our commentators who are idly sitting by. I would ask you guys for your predictions. Mainly, I just want to hear what you have to say, Eric.
You know what? Freiburg loves bananas. So I'll say 16-5. I'm going there. I'm going deep, going hard.
Going deep. And the Betway odds are certainly in favor of OpTic, being that, as you can see on your screen, the numbers do align themselves that way. We're going to go ahead and give it over to you guys, though, and get this match underway.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Son. It is indeed almost time to jump into this second map, and I believe our last map of the evening here to start off week number 2 of the ESL Pro League. Big question is, of course, can we see a performance like that from Splyce again, or is OpTic really just going to go into shutdown mode now?
I think OpTic's going to go into shutdown mode. I think Splyce had their chance to win on Overpass, and they kind of gave it away.
They blew it.
They blew it. They blew it. They blew it. And I think with the momentum coming in this game, OpTic is, and not only that, but that being their map, Inferno, I think OpTic's going to run away with this. Splyce is going to be a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, especially, you know, with it being a map like Inferno 2, where it's really kind of a sink or swim map for teams. A lot of NA teams have actually kind of excelled on it, though, recently, because it's, to my surprise, I know it was a map that a lot of NA teams kind of, as soon as it got put back into the pool, everybody immediately started playing it again in the North American region.
Blue. Classic.
Yeah, so a lot of NA teams have been able to adapt to it, but I do feel like it is a bit of a tougher map for some of those kind of middle to lower tier teams here in the Pro League, which I would put Splyce kind of in that mid tier right now, so we're going to have to see if they'll be able to face off against OpTic, or if OpTic will indeed just crush things here. And starting it off, well, not too good for Splyce. They can peg down middle right at the beginning here.
As you see there, what I like about Splyce is Davey and Mitch. They have smoke, flash, nade each. They double naded into somewhere, I'm assuming B, but didn't hit anyone. Now it looks like they're going to have a B execute right here as Freiburg and Semphis exchanging kills. Broca taking out Magic's boy, and now it looks like Ollie's going to get some kills in Mixwell. Wait for the smoke, my friends. Because they get picked off, 2 people, unnecessary kills. Getting kill right back at them.
Evens it back up.
Got the, I believe it was an A flanker. And so they're like, hey, let's go back to A.
They know this is happening quite obviously, though, so Mixwell's already going to try to chase them through the library. It's a bit dangerous splitting up the two remaining players from OpTic, but they are confident in their abilities to perform individually. So now Mixwell looks, I believe he does tag Mitch slightly. It's not for a whole lot of damage, though, at that much range. They're going to have to try and face off, but Mitch, no, he'll take down Mixwell. All the pressure shifts to Alu now, who spotted Davey. Oh, Davey, though, with the swing and a direct hit to Alu's head as he takes him down and wins out the pistol for Splyce.
Well, that doesn't look too good. I mean, good for Splyce, though. I like it. They got those kills. I thought I was going to run into a disaster by crossing that B bomb site without a smoke. I mean, they had smokes, and they actually tossed the smokes, but they got 2 pickoffs that shouldn't even happen, and they came really close after that.
Really wanted that swipe that flower pot, but just couldn't hit it.
That's going to happen.
That's it.
As you see, I like that OpTic. Look at this. They have 4 smokes and a nade instead of armor pistol, so I kind of like that idea. We'll see what they're going to do with these smokes, though.
Big stack towards Banana, too. 3-man play currently. I believe it is just to use Mixwell's smoke, though. And he is going to fall back down highway pretty quickly. So is Freiburg, though. That may be a little bit early to call the second player off, but they are going to risk it and go for a 4-man stack on A.
This is a very good move. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just thought this was a very good strat by OpTic Gaming to smoke down B. Had the extra smoke, kind of force Splyce to play super passive, play it like a methodical kind of style, and then OpTic is stacking towards this A-bomb site.
Well, Magisk deploys his smoke now, so it has bought them that additional 20 seconds or so. Let's point forward to try and stop. The thing is, though, Splyce do seem a little bit hard-headed on potentially swinging toward B. Hold on now. Couple nades working their way out through mid-choke point. They've got a decision to make. Do they assume the power at B is going to be too great for them to overcome and just swing into A? Like going right into the trap that's been set by OpTic, or are they going to go up B regardless and take on Magisk, who's the only player sitting here to defend it? And they do start to hear it. Magisk does anyway, so you can see Mixwell further back towards the arches there is calling for a little bit of help. He's not going to get it, though. Mixwell sneaks out. Davey takes him down, and now that's killed the hit. They are going into the three-man stack from OpTic, though, so now is their chance. Can they hold it? Oh, it's not looking good. Mitch moves in, takes down Freiburg. The stack very quickly getting torn to shreds here. They know there's another one sitting behind that box on site. One remains. He's in the pit, gets one kill. Oh, no! Mitch, oh, Alu! He actually got that kill and stayed alive just before the knife made contact. He took down Mitch. He's still alive. He does have a Mach 10 upgrade, too, but he's only down at 13 HP. Trying to survive this encounter. He's going to be careful of Drone, too. He's up on top of that box. He's trying to stay alive so that hopefully he can work with Magisk when he finally wraps back in. He's just now arrived towards the mid-choke point, but oh, he gets another one! This time against Davey. Now somehow still keeps himself alive, and now it's down to a 2v2. They need to complete it, and there's one more kill to make it happen. All they've got to do is find Drone now. Alu should know he's on the site somewhere, and there it is! OpTic pull off a massive upset on this round, and Alu, with the hold of the sentry sitting inside of pit, would have got it done, but they didn't leave themselves enough time to defuse the bombs. So at the end of the day, Splyce will still win the round.
That gave up a little too many kills at the moment, as Alu should not have gotten 4 kills in that spot. As you see Mitch trying to get the knife, failed, and then Davey, I don't know, that was just kind of a brainless play by him, just to again, trying to peek and kill him, trying to get that money.
I was so hyped for OpTic to win that round. I thought they had it.
It was close. It was close. If they had a kit, they would have had it for sure. Unfortunately, they did not. But the thing is, all that money forced them to buy. Look at all the utility. Look at all the armor and nades that OpTic decides to go with here. And Splyce, though, taking a fast banana. As Mixwell getting caught out with his nade. And now this does not look good for OpTic Gaming.
Now down to 3 here to try and pull off the hold now, as everybody is going to rotate pretty quickly towards B. They still also have, I think it's Mitch sitting out towards mid. Alu, oh, all right. Alu kind of losing himself in the smoke there a little bit. And they take down Freiburg a couple moments after that one too, leaving only HS in this fight. A 1v4 set against him. It's looking like we'll see a third round up on the board for Splyce in just a few moments.
I do not agree with that play by Alu. Pushing through smoke by herself with a rifle when half your team's force spine. You might as well just save that gun for the next round. You know, Blue?
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like when you play dumb.
There are things you don't like when you have to cast.
I know. But you know what? That's why I want to enlighten people.
Just
I
gotta
want to drill it through their heads that don't do that. Very
What
rarely,
if they-
1 out of 100 times you do that, and that's, you feel that moment. That was not a feel moment.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh, wait, the two. What just happened there?
That's kind of
That
worth
was,
it.
that was like an artillery war.
I like that.
Just firing nades at each other, and apparently that happened.
It's a barn burner.
I mean, look at this. 2 just started off from the T side, and then 2 come right back from the CT side there at the end. Freiburg and HS both picking up a kill with that, so a bit of an odd round, but Splyce still wins it up pretty quickly.
Let's look at this. Splyce again taking heavy middle. 90% of nades with this destroy. Alu gets blind. He pushes back. Nice move by Mitch to get up there and take out Alu. And now look at this fast wrap by Splyce. As HS gets caught off guard, and now the A bomb site is all theirs. What a play by Splyce. I love it. Aggressive.
Quickly onto the A site there, too, to shut it down. And OpTic, as you can see, they're not even looking to attempt to retake this one. They've fallen back. They're saving those rifles. It's going to be 5-0 for Splyce. Same as Overpass. They're getting off to a pretty strong start here, and it's not showing any signs of slowing down anytime soon.
I wouldn't be surprised if OpTic call a timeout on this round or the next round before they have to buy again. Because what they're doing is not working. Splyce is reading like a book. And OpTic, as you said, they're off to a slow start. Can't count them out just yet, though, because like last map, they were down 4-11.
Yeah, I mean, it's really all going to come down. I mean, here's the thing, though, is that this is Splyce starting off on T side with this, and this is where they struggled in the last map.
This is true. I think they're just being a little, more confident in their peaks, not relying on so many flashes and nades, but more of like maybe a pop flash and gun out, as you saw last round with Mitch. He just had one nice pop flash, catches was Magic's off guard in the middle, and then just ran up and killed him.
So into the 6th round, where OpTic do still have an investment to play with. It's not going to include any ops, though. But it does have decent utility sitting behind 5 M4, so still a very decent buy for them overall. Splyce is looking to try and take fast banana control again, but there's going to be a held-back smoke from the CTs to stop that momentum.
As you see here, that flash roll trying to push back. And he plays by the sandbag area. So throw it over the wall. And here comes the delayed nades by OpTic. Nicely played by them, but Magix gets caught off guard here. And now it's even to a 4-on-4. He does spot two, 3 people, but HS or Alu with the late rotate. If Splyce would have committed there, they would have taken this bomb site pretty easily. But looks like they're going to fall back and kind of work back towards the middle.
Mixwell is going to be sat up behind the crypts on the B-bomb site. He's not going to see any action anytime soon, though. Everyone else on Splyce grouping up by mid-choke, getting ready to swing in towards A, with one exception, that being Roka, who still lags behind on Banana. Actually watching for flanks, or could just be a solo lurk in a B to try to keep those 2 players held in that site, and that seems to be his goal. He's going to try to catch any players that try to go off that site and rotate the other directions. And now we have to hope that for Splyce to remain successful, that the actual hit still goes well.
See Roka, any kill would be a huge kill for Roka and for his teammates. He does spot someone. Oh, such a risky play.
He still gets taken down by the player at first oranges anyway, so there we go. There's the fake deployed, and Freiburg's also going to catch the bomb as it's the first player to try and move into the site. Freiburg dodging the op shot actually with a crouch, and then following it up with the final shots in a Davy to take him down. OpTic finally getting their first round on the board, but it is a confident one with 4 players left alive at the end of it. It's the good start of what could be a great economy as long as they don't mess it up and drop this in the second round immediately afterwards.
I think that was an interesting strat by Splyce to split up their team like that. I could understand what Roka's trying to do, trying to get the kills at B, but even if he got those kills at B, Team Splyce did not have time to fall back. They did not have time to come back to B and plant the bomb. Nor if they got the kills at A, Roka, well, he was not even part of it anyway, so it was a super risky, not a big fan of that play. Not worth the reward.
Well, Splyce after their first round loss, they're going to make a pretty quick path up through alt mid and try to get up to those apartments there. Now, mind you, those apartments aren't super hard to get control of anymore, so it's a pretty easy walk-in for the T's to just move right in there, take it, and then try to stage some sort of an entry. But when they used the long haul on the last round too, I mean, overall that didn't go too well for them. As we saw, Freiburg with his teammate were able to rip that apart pretty quickly. They're playing in a slightly different positions this time. Look, they've already got 4 on this site. They already bailed off the second player from B, so they're ready for this one. And they've got mollies up on balcony. They've delayed the hit from Splyce for a couple of seconds too. This is going right back to what we saw from their T-set on the last map too, where OpTic does have great control of things. Here's the thing though, Freiburg almost knocked out. HS able to support, but look, now Roka drone, they move in. Freiburg, and with some support from Alu, keeps Freiburg alive. Semphis is going to be able to move in and take down Freiburg, but he's now the last man standing in a 1v2 and stuck between a rock and a hard place as well, since Magisk is going to be wrapping around him in a moment and will be pushing him from the end of the long haul out on balcony.
Semphis trying to take the shot. He does not hit Alu, and now they know exactly where he is. They do not know him. Finally gets sandwiched. Good patient play by Alu, waiting, as you saw through the X-Way, that he fell back a little bit to prevent any early picks. Wait for Magic's boy to flank from the A apartments. And so great job with communication and teamwork on OpTic.
Well, OpTic now with 2, and that has not proven to be enough to break Splyce just yet. They still have enough money to buy, I believe, into this last round. For this one is where they are finally going to find themselves broken. So at the very least, Splyce did build up a good bank and have had the capability to buy through it. But now we need to see them come out successfully, as OpTic is starting to build themselves up. They've got a double op setup with full utility, 3 M4s obviously as well. And they're going to start taking some risks here too on the CT side. You can see Alu just peeking directly out in the mid this time.
Didn't spot it versus that little side angle towards the alt. But Team Splyce are going really slow default. So one person watching that A halls. Aggressive. Davy's already up the A hall. I didn't realize how far up he was. What an aggressive play by Davy. And it pays off. He takes out Freiburg. And now OpTic Gaming, though, not over rotating. They're just going to say, hey, keep 2 to the bomb site, see what happens. Semphis trying to take up this middle, and he spots that flashbang. I'm pretty sure that they know that one of OpTic's players is playing the arch side. And it happens to be Alu with an op.
Well, Alu is going to sit back inside of the corner here. Does actually move out from it, though, and it's a good thing, too. As the Molly could have done quite a bit of damage. He'll end up wrapping back around towards library side of things. Basically just has to sit back and wait, see if Splyce are going to commit, and there we go. There's the first lineup for him. Re-peeked into his second, but on the third peek, that's when he meets his end against Roka, who will trade him back out, bringing this down into a 4v3 favored for Splyce. Splyce quickly crunching onto the site, not paying attention to Pit, but when they do, well, they quickly find HS after he whiffed on that first attempt to find a frag from the players that had tried to push onto the platform.
And Magic's Boy and Mixwell going to be saving their guns, rightfully so. As they Splyce, hold the bomb site, try not to lose any more guns themselves. Probably not going to go hunting. Except for Davey, because Davey, he doesn't care. He's a sociopath, he has no feelings.
What?
I'm kidding, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm assuming, he just has no fear.
So,
He's a person with no fear. And you should have a little fear. It's good to have a little fear.
He had no fear taking that peek.
Keeps you on your toes, you know? See, if you had fear, you probably wouldn't have died there. You gotta have a little bit.
What?
You gotta have a little fear.
He just said he has no fear, though.
I'm saying you have to have a little fear. Otherwise, you probably won't die there if you had a little fear.
Yeah, but
you played it smarter.
He wouldn't have been able to get the kill either.
It's a conundrum, Blue.
Could have gone either way there, really.
It could go either way. Everything's 50-50 at this point.
Okay. Well, getting back into the thick of things now. Alu tries to get aggressive again, but gets a quick strike back from Davey. As he indeed shows no fear in that department, tries to push back out. There's a fast repeat from HS. HS didn't realize the drone went through the choke point, though. So means his end to him, but the trades keep going back and forth. Freiburg tries to hop his way out of trouble, but not going to happen. Mitch will take him down. Only 2 remain for the CT side. Mixwell is quickly trying to wrap over here, but it's already pretty much too late. Even though they're only down by a player, they still have decent utility. This is not going to be an easy retake if they decide to go for it. Maybe more likely that they actually fall back and save again.
I think I'm going to try to go for 1 kill first. I mean, my rule of thumb, if I'm down numbers, try to get a kill. If you get that early kill, 2-on-2, you go for it.
I think they're trying to boost over each other. Okay, well, that ended up being useless as the smoke faded away anyway.
Fast kill, it's going to fall back and save it now.
Yeah.
Double off right there. Picking up Magic's Boy. Yeah.
Ooh. He just got to do. Oh, I was about to say, Magic just escaped death by getting into Pip. Not only does he escape it, but he pops back up, finds Davey too. So there's that kill they were looking for about 15 seconds ago. And now Roka is going to be lurking up. He knows he wants to drop these guns since Splyce still had a little bit of extra cash in the bank. Unfortunately, though, he goes down to Mixwell. And with those losses, well, Splyce will win the round, but they'll have to rebuy every player except Mitch.
I feel like Roka's the type of person, if he has a 10% chance to win, he'll put all his money on black. He's that type of guy.
Yeah.
He's a gambler.
Maybe.
That's why he peeked right there. You want to get that kill. You want to get that 1 tap. Get the up, you know?
Imagine we could find out a lot about players if we put them just at like a...
In the gambling room?
Yeah.
Just have them sit down, $100?
Yeah, like fake money, like, you know.
No, it has to be real money. Or it's not the same.
Well, for those that are over 21.
Of course.
Or whatever the age is in Canada.
Probably.
I think so.
He's only doing alcohol. But as that's happening, Splyce decides to take the B bomb site, run over OpTic Gaming. Alu is going to have to save the AWP. Hopefully, now this is when you start chasing down someone. 4-1.
Yeah, their money's back already too. Like they easily have. I think 2 or 3 players should have like 7 or 8K by this point.
Get them. Get the AWP. Challenge Alu. He's trying to hide in this A halls.
I don't think they're gonna get him.
Alu.
Sempus might find him, but the others are too far away from him now. Yeah, no, he's moving out of this hallway to peek Sempus, so he's going to stay alive. He'll save that up. The real question is, what do they get behind this? Actually, it's not a bad buy looking at it now. Just realized how much money the CTs had left over there. So they're actually going to be able to probably get 4 rifles behind that, and then that just turns it right into a decent buy. In fact, I think someone at 5,200, so they could get a second off if they wanted to.
Yeah, if they wanted to.
Not looking like it, though.
No, they decide to get some rifles, you know, get some utility. Everyone likes the utility kit. Gotta have a kit. Alu's gonna try to dodge any flashes. Flash is interesting.
Splyce once again take the quick path up alt mid. OpTic Gaming has pretty much ignored hulls for the entire portion of this half, so there's been no fear, no reason why Splyce should have to take things carefully going up through alt mid, as OpTic has not tried to play aggressively inside a boiler or any area of that map at all. They've either pushed up to like porch or hung on the cubby, but they haven't messed around with those hulls at all for pretty much this entire half, but maybe 1 or 2 rounds being an exception to that. And now, quickly we'll see Splyce trying to move back outside. Freiburg holds for the first kill. HS now lining him, but he's only able to get 1. Freiburg still in the fight though, as he picks up a second against Roka, finding another, or at least attempting to, but Davey saves his teammate's life. In addition to knocking out another player here from the OpTic side of things, they'll still end up a man down though as they take control of the site platform. They'll keep Semphis inside of the pit and send Davey into plant.
Davy's going to plant in a safe spot in the bomb site, so it's not really seen from the pit. So they're going to have to go for kills here instead of playing the bomb. At least get 1 or 2 kills, and then they can play the bomb. Oh, Davey, gonna do this. He's going to do this and takes out Mixwell, and then takes out Magic's boy Davey up right here. Gets the 3rd kill. Team Splyce, what are you doing? You're crazy.
So nicely done from Davey. Another 4K from him as well. We saw a little bit of that earlier on the last match where he was able to pull up some impressive skills. Multiple double kills to really push his team into an advantage. And we see it again here. And this time it's a quad. Beautiful stuff from Davey. Basically single-handedly wins the round for Splyce just off of his work alone there. And you can see how happy he was about it. A little jiggle of joy at the end of that round.
You know what? The king of banana is not even playing in B. This is why OpTic's losing so bad.
Might be.
It's 100% the reason, Blue. I'm not saying might. It is. He should be in banana, not in the A bomb site hiding behind a box.
He was playing at the start, wasn't he?
I'm not sure.
I think he was. He was playing earlier. I think they switched him.
That was Mixwell and...
Well, it's Mixwell and Magisk, which again is a different combo than what we saw on the last map for short A play, because it was Alu and Magisk playing on the last map.
I don't know. He's not in B. That's the problem.
The thing is it's like
banana gun.
The thing is though, it's like early days for this team, so they could just be experimenting with this stuff a little bit here too.
Yeah. Experiment a 2-9 to Splyce. How about that?
There you go.
I'm being a little harsh. I'm sorry.
Well, Splyce is in control, so it's not too harsh, as they're about to push into double digits within the first half again here after they already accomplished that feat back over on our first map. They win this round, they'll do it again, and they've got a pretty good chance of winning this round too, considering not only the buy from OpTic, but they've already gotten that first kill against Mixwell.
I'm also really surprised on Team OpTic how passive they're playing the CT side after they're down 2-9. Inferno is one of those maps where you can be super aggressive in CT and be okay. It's not as risky as other maps where you can take control of banana, you can peek the halls or take control of house and know, like on spawn base, you can get into the window before they can run up alt middle. So I would like to see more aggression from OpTic.
HS looks like him and Magisk are going to be able to chain together 2 kills between 2 of them. Semphis.
Glock was a bad choice.
It's a rough life out there. So he ends up getting wrecked by Alu. It's not going to change the results of this round. Splyce are still winning it, but it's just another case of them taking more losses than necessary again. But with the money they have and us getting pretty late into the half, that's not going to matter as much. Davey eventually does cut off Alu too, and does it again, man. Davey's on fire tonight. He's going to take out Magisk to close out on the round there.
Yeah, Davey's doing really well. I'm pretty sure he was one of the top fraggers on the last map as well. Him and Mitch.
At least in the first half, easily.
Yeah, Davey, he's the type of guy that just, he doesn't care. I mean, you look into his eyes, and he doesn't care. He has that look in his eyes that he doesn't care. And it's a rare look to have, because, most people do care. They spend so much time in this. They're practicing. They come home from school. Like, no, mom, I'm playing. Leave me alone. But not Davey. He's just flatline.
What is he doing? His mom tells him, bothers him about
Doesn't
something.
say anything. He just looks at her and just looks back at his computer. He just doesn't care, Blue.
What?
He just doesn't care. He's a robot. I don't think he even has
What happens if,
emotions.
mom comes over and unplugs the computer? Just plug it back in?
He has a backup card.
He has a PSU.
So he's prepared for that, okay? His mom unplugs it. Computer doesn't even turn off. And so his mom kind of freaks out that pulled the power and it's not turning off. And then Davey still wins. This is how it works. It's just still how it works.
Well, we are once again in the pause for OpTic here as they've fallen behind quite a bit. They've had quite a bit of trouble getting themselves back on the saddle here. They've only got a few rounds left to try and make an impact in this first round. And on CT side, we should mention again too here. Normally we don't see the T side shoot ahead so much on Inferno, but with this new version, it's becoming more and more of a common occurrence, especially in these uneven matchups where the teams come from, you know, very different walks of life in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, as we see OpTic playing this 2-banana. Oh, nice boy getting double naded. That stings a little bit. Stings the nostrils. And he's going to hide on top of the flower pot. Very, very common spot. Very hard to deal with if you smoke incorrectly. And, you know, there's smoke on this map where you throw it deeper. You could easily see the person on the flower pot. If you throw this a normal one that bounces off the wall, then it acts like a one-way for that. So you got to know these things. The finer details.
Is that the deep one?
So this one is going to smoke off the coffins.
Yeah.
It's a perfect coffin one. And I think this is the deeper smoke, so it's not much of a one-way. But they're not good.
Mag is still able to spot a player, though, as unfortunately most of those Ts got flashed on the way, and they couldn't really pay too much mind to the flower pot position. Now Mixwell pushed back into the church. He was hoping someone from Splyce would push back out, but it has not happened. They're all sticking in the site, and that's giving them not really a whole lot of room to work with, especially considering that everyone from the OpTic side of things is still alive and well. That's going to change, though, as Drone gets the kill against Magisk, takes him down. I think they're boosting a second player up on top of the flower pot. Ow, that's risky, and yeah, I believe that's Alu that ends up going down as a result of that one. Almost never going to work there. That's going to be very obvious when you boost a player up on top. Semphis, he'll take down Freiburg as well. The numbers from OpTic are very quickly crumbling, mainly at the hands of Semphis. There's up to 3 kills in this round. Drone will be the one to pick up the other 2 and claim the 11th round for Splyce.
So on OpTic right there in that retake, I think they had around 3 to 4 flashbangs they could have used before they boosted Alu on that spot, like reboost. If you want to do that, throw a flashbang or 2 and then boost up. Because he just boosted up, you know people are going to be looking through it, and so, I don't know. I just felt like that was a sloppy retake in OpTic's game. They lost because of it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just directly boost Alu up on top of Flower Pot with, as you said, there's like no utility support or anything behind that, so, you know, someone's going to be looking at that position, so it's very obvious when he jumps up there, and almost, again, we didn't see the exact perspective, but it's almost the second that he jumps up there, he's also going to be getting himself knocked out in that situation. And now it has left OpTic with not a whole lot to work with going into the 14th round. Just a Mag 7, a UMP on Freiburg, and scattered rifles and utility amongst the other 3.
Looks like the score of the map's going the same as the previous map, 2-11. That's when OpTic starts winning rounds, but it doesn't look so good for OpTic. I think Splyce might run away with this. Probably getting 1 or 2 more rounds for sure. As you see, Mitch is trying to clear out the house slowly with Davey. You know, doing Davey things.
This has been a weird series, to say the least.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just kind of surprised now. Is OpTic really not as good as we thought, or is Splyce a lot better than people thought? So, I think it's. I think Splyce is better than people thought. I don't think OpTic's that bad of a team. I think they're pretty good, but Splyce is just showing a whole nother style.
I would have to agree with you. Alu, though, is going to be able to get that first kill. And a free upgrade. Mixwell, great spray control. Gets himself Drone and Roka. Even the third, too, against Semphis now. And that's pretty much the entire hit. Mitch is on the other side of the map right now. It'd be a miracle if he could win this round, but not going to happen. Finally, another round up on the board for OpTic as they claim their 3rd in this map.
Uh-oh. It's going the same thing. 11-4. And then a meltdown by Team Splyce. Maybe not. We'll have to see. I can't tell the future, Blue. I don't have a DeLorean.
Well, taking a look at these final buys, both teams are going to be fully stacked out for the most part. OpTic does have to kind of scrabble together a couple of rifles. As you can see, there are 2 FAMASs coming onto the board. But for Splyce, they are fully bought in this one with an op and everything. CT's trying to get aggressive, too, in case you missed it there, back towards a mid-choke point. It looked like they want to try and push out a little bit. Didn't find much going there. And Alu is going to be first to bat. Has this flashbang to support him. He can't see anything currently. Those 2 players are in the long haul. He's the player up on top of balcony right now. He's going to get a chance to duel for it. Alu with a great first kill against Drone, though. He knows Davey's pushing back up, but he's not ready for it when he actually makes the push. HS hitting one on his own, and Davey from inside of the pit trying to do work. He only gets 1, though. Mixwell will trade him out with his own molly. And Freiburg takes not 1, but 2 kills a moment later. So with that, we end up on the same exact scoreline as our first map, 11-4, and it's in the favor of Splyce. There's some heroics from OpTic. It really wasn't enough for them to put a whole lot of rounds on the board, so we're going to have to see if they can bounce back once more, as the second half will be coming up in just a few moments.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Well, it's happened again, ladies and gentlemen. 11-4 is the scoreline coming out of the first half of a matchup between a team of Titans and a team of, well, not Titans, as Splyce continued to look for that upset against this new European OpTic gaming squad. They almost managed to pull it off the last map, but unfortunately lost control in the second half, and now, well, they get another chance at it here on Inferno.
Well, now they get to be on the CT side. People say that Inferno could be T-sided, depends on the team, but I don't know. Splyce looked really good, and OpTic looked pretty timid on their CT side. I figured more aggressive plays would come from them, but they literally played the same setup almost every single round, and well, Team Splyce was like, "You're going to do that? We're just going to run you over."
The thing is, it would be foolish for us to count OpTic out of this matchup right now. Considering not only what happened in the last map, but considering as well that this is a team of Europeans with a lot of experience between the 5 of them. So I feel like between them, they can easily make some plays that could really just completely bamboozle Splyce and lead to situations where they have no choice but to save. And we're going to see potentially one of those right now, where they just move into the B bomb site, take quick control, and have already smoked out all of the remaining routes into the site. So it's going to be rough already here for Splyce to try and win just this pistol round.
Yeah, come on, Splyce. You could at least make this a little harder. Gonna give up the sight and everything on pistol.
Davey really hunting for heads here, and he was the big proponent for them to being able to win both of the pistols that they claimed in this series so far. Roka, though, will start it off with the first kill. Davey now completely falling back, and Drone getting the first kill. Magisk also moving in there. He's able to get, or Drone's able to get one too, but couldn't even get the kills quickly after that one. Freiburg, HS, and Freiburg again, picking up the last 3. OpTic do indeed claim the second half pistol.
Yeah, Septus dying super early into the round really just snowballed for OpTic's favor to rush this bomb site. It's unfortunate, but it happens. You're trying to play risky, you're trying to win. Get caught with your pants down, Blue.
So Splyce are going to have to look for a second round upset here. Now remember, we saw OpTic back on the last month. They're chaining together, I think it was 6 or 7 rounds, basically tying up the series before Splyce were able to win even one on their own regard. So Splyce, I mean, they do better than that, which at face value, it doesn't seem like it's hard to do worse than that.
No, not at all. It looked like OpTic's going to do the take over control of Banana, push you guys back, and then maybe we'll do a smoke execute towards B. But until then, as you see, Mixwell's playing the anti-flash. 2 people on OpTic's holding that T-ramp. Just watch your pushes. Pretty much a basic default right now. Except Team OpTic does not have a lot of people towards it alt middle. So we do see Magic's kind of alone with an AK. Very risky.
OpTic are going to group up at the bottom of Banana here after it seemed like they were going to be willing to spread themselves out a little bit more. They do group together and are going to be ready to jump into this site. Splyce with a 2-man stack behind First Orange is a little bit risky, but we'll see if it plays out well for them.
The old bait and switch, Blue. You don't underestimate the bait and switch.
The old double stack in a spot where you're only going to find one person.
So you want one of them to kind of swing out a little prematurely. Like, haha, you killed me, you found me. And then you have the other teammate just hiding there. And then they probably check some other angle.
He moved back to second oranges now, though, so it's more of the usual stack. Yeah, and then Molly. Smitch is still trying to wait, and it gets a 1 kill, but at this point, it's not really a great trade, unfortunately, as the rest of the team is still really far detached from this situation, including 2 players that were on A until about 5 seconds ago. Davey actually dinking Mixwell and then taking him out through the smoke. But Magisk trades onto Semphis, down towards the bottom of Banana, and these last two, still with no gun upgrades or anything like that, it is very, very tough to make this retake happen.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get the retake. I think at this point you want to save armor. Maybe try to set up for an exit kill, but it looks like they're not going to do that. They're going to do a crossfire and spawn. No, Davey's going to leave him. Davey's like, see ya, guy. See ya, drone. I'm not going to help you out. Why would I? I'm Davey. I'm crazy. I'm crazy.
No fear, Davey.
No fear. So, nice round. Nice between OpTic, Molotoving, in between the... What do you call that spot? Oranges? You guys still call it oranges?
First, second oranges, yeah.
That's such an old school name spot.
That's what I got used to. I mean, no one came up with a better name for it.
No one cares.
Yeah, I mean...
They just want to call it what they know. People don't like change, Blue.
No?
They like the comfortable feeling of just the same.
I still call car, so...
Yeah, I do too, actually.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't there not a car there?
It's not a car, it's just like panel. Well, you can see it there. It's just, well, not anymore, but it's just like wood panels now. And I think a couple like barrels.
Car?
That's called old car sometimes
Car with
as well.
no wheels?
Yeah. Car? What car? It's not a car though. It doesn't even look like a car. Just some barrels.
Barrels, lame. I used to park my car out here, you know? But anyways, anywho, OpTic. Easy take his bomb site, not losing a member. Splyce completely on the other side of the map. Alu's trying to watch for the aggressive pushes. So far calling nothing, so seems to be okay. They have a pretty good idea that they'll probably stack somewhere in A.
Pretty uneventful round, to be completely honest here. Splyce took the risk on the A stack, and we're wrong. So that's pretty much the end of the round right there when you're saving like this.
They lost all their assets and put everything on black.
Yeah,
they
pretty
lost
much.
It all.
I tried to put the one chip on that, like the side bet or something like that, but it didn't really work out. So
It's not worth it.
now the real debt's going down, and they're trained actually pretty well, to be honest. But OpTic just threw themselves on the side anyway. So
yeah, that was a lot of deaths, unnecessary deaths by OpTic that probably should not have happened. Just chasing over pistols, you're losing 3 people. It's not worth, my friend. They got to rebuy. Got to spend some money. Look at Alu spent $7,000. He's back to 0.
So they can probably force buy if they lose this round and don't save, but it's not going to be super great. They're probably going to have like maybe 3 or 4 rifles, but I do think like 1 or 2 players are going to go to the pistol. So that's basically the consequence of losing that many players in that round.
Yes, very much so. And look at Splyce. They're doing something a little different. They're pushing 3 Banana. Banana control is so important in this map. OpTic Gaming's maybe reading ahead of this and taking over middle pretty quickly here. Drone is all alone in this bomb site. He's going to have to make a huge play if he wants to survive and keep his team in the round. Mixwell takes out Mitch already. He does get the kill and the bomb site. Gets 2 kills on Headshot. And Alu exchanging the kills on Drone. Now it's a 2-on-3 in favor of OpTic. Semphis taking out Alu now 2-on-2.
Keeping it even at the very least here, but it's awkward positions for both teams now as Roka's going to have to try to wrap on port side. But oh, perfect timing. Magisk wasn't peek forward at all. So unfortunately for Mixwell, he just ends up going down right from the get-go of things. And Roka is going to knock out Magisk too, just to close out on its Splyce. Pick up a 12th round, and still with a 5-round lead over OpTic too.
That's a very nice play by Team Splyce. OpTic might have been taken around, so you got those 2 kills, the 2 extra kills by Mixwell off the start, making it a 5-on-3, and then Drone coming up huge with 2 kills. I mean, he held it down pretty well, pretty much getting sandwiched by 2 angles.
Drone's 2 kills are what really seals the deal, though, as that opens up the opportunity for them to win the 2v2, and then the series of mistakes with Magis not peeking out to support his planter, that pretty much ends it right there.
Got to plant it safe in that situation. You got to, or at least have, as you said, have him be covered. That was an amateur mistake by OpTic. As you see, Max Boy going to do the same thing. Mitch and Roka just exchanging kills here, and now looks like a 4-on-3. Roka is low on HP. Will probably fall back into the B bomb site. As Alu is going to try to make a play here, trying to make something happen. As he sneaks into this B bomb site, going to be a little cheeky. Semphis has already fallen back to help out Roka, who's kind of trapped behind this new box. Alu does spot him out. And turns on Semphis, and Alu's getting 2 kills. What a turnaround for Alu. And now it looks like it's going to be a bomb plant on the bomb side. What a fall apart by Team Splyce right there.
Just completely dropping the ball there on what could have been a 1 round for them. So this is really bad for them now because this is going to be a losing bonus reset for Splyce too. So money's going to be in a terrible spot. I mean, you can already see Drone having to invest into like a FAMAS on this round.
Yeah, that's not good. And I think Semphis was pulling out his nades or something. He's like trying to nade too much. He's trying to do too much. Just keep it simple. Just have the guy in CG spawn, hold an angle. As soon as CG spawn shoots, then the guy from New Box peeks. But what happened was Semphis got caught. I'm not going to say caught with his pants down. I already said that, but he got caught.
Get a thesaurus.
Thesaurus, I know. I need a thesaurus.
For like phrases.
Oh, I just missed a shot. Nice shot by Alu.
He just has like a website of puns open, doesn't he? Yeah.
Does he really?
Yeah, someone caught him once.
What a cheater. I'm going to have to take his notes and do that myself.
There's someone, I think it was at a minor one time, they went into the room they were casting because they were messing around, and they found like if you look on a screen, you can just see, it's literally like a website of just puns on it. Like,
I mean, it makes him sound cool.
I mean,
man,
creative, man. Puts the work in.
He puts the work in. He does his homework. I sound funny, but you know, he sounds like a professional rapper.
All right, well, Splyce, after losing that last round, like I said, as you can see, the money gets dropped down pretty quickly because the losing bonus reset. They're going to end up on Pistols and Arbor almost immediately after dropping that round, which is very unfortunate for them, but to the slaughter for OpTic here now as they have a real chance to close out the gap on this comeback and potentially take the lead and win this map again. But oh, Jerome with a great peek gets 2 kills from it, where spots will move back out for Mixwell, but they still have at least Semphis set up on the site and a couple more rotating back in. Semphis needs to stay alive, and they need this pit position to do work. Otherwise, those rotates probably aren't going to mean too much at the end of the day. Semphis getting a little bit aggressive now, pushing up into the smoke. He won't move outside of the pit just yet, but they are moving around to look for him. Semphis strikes first, though, as he gets the kill against HS. Now he's stuck in the corner, but his teammates are here, and they're ready to support, but Magisk is going to strike first here as Davey tries to take on Magisk inside of the boiler. Doesn't go too well for him. Leaves 3 alive here for Splyce. OpTic just trying to take this as slow as humanly possible to see if they can edge out a couple headshots, as they still have the weapon advantage in this fight currently. Mixwell moving up. Magisk again bailing out a teammate here as he's able to spot Semphis. That will leave Magisk with a very low amount of HP to play with. And Mixwell is also already down at 54 HP. But Mitch pushing forward. He's also low. And ooh, almost got his death there. Roka swings him from the other side, though. He's got the kill. And now Magisk, he's been pinched. They won't even need their other teammate, as Roka is going to do all the work in the 1v2 and close out for Splyce.
Why buy guns when you could buy CZs, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, this is what, the 4th pistol eco win in the series? I think it was 2 in last map and 2 in this map already?
I think so, yeah. Sounds about right.
Probably wrong, but it's at least 3 or 4.
There's been a lot. There's been a strange amount, I would say, almost.
Yeah, CZ, and I guess people realize, well, just get it, you know? So as you see right there on the scoreboard, the old double reset. But OpTic Gaming, they still have a little bit of money to buy. They have very low utility in the process, but guns are guns. All you need is 1 bullet for 1 head, and they die. They die blue.
Magisk is going to be lurking very, very quickly out towards the balcony on the A-bomb site. Davies watching for it. Davies had a pretty poor track record these past 4 rounds, but he does see the hit coming back in and whiffs the spray. Now he's stuck in a bad spot too. He's right next to Drone. Can in-shot one of the players, uses the entire clip. He's over to his pistol now. Drone's trying to help back out, but it's not long before he loses his teammate. And Freiburg moves in to pick up that 2nd kill too. CD's been pushed back out, but Magisk, HS, and to a certain degree Freiburg have all taken a decent amount of damage from the fight.
That Molotov was the MVP of that round. Throwing it right in that corner. Just frying 2 people. Forcing the move. Missed their shots. And now Splyce, they have a decision. Should we just try to save our guns here? They're in bad spots. 2 kits. Semphis is low on HP, so I was thinking time's running low. You got to make a decision now. Either fall back or go for it. Don't do this half. Let's do that. Die.
Well, Mitch is going to be found out there. Roka trades back for 1 kill a little bit further out, but then HS just takes him down anyway. So Semphis remains the only player left alive with an op, and he's not going to have much supporting it going into the 8th round in the second half. As you can see, the money is pretty much down in the dumps for everybody else on Splyce. So the most they would have would be upgraded pistols.
I'm facepalming Blue.
Why? Why are you facepalming?
And again, either go for it or don't. You have 2 people just hanging around in limbo, just dying and not saving their guns. It's like, it screams, like, why? Why are you doing this to yourself? You guys are up 11-4, and you guys just toss away around. Save it for next round or something. Ah, it's so upsetting. I'm sorry. I want to make NICS higher, okay? Better. Save it.
You want to make it great again?
I want to make it great again.
There you go.
If I have to yell at people and shame them, then I will. I'll be that guy, Blue. Okay? I'll be that guy.
Well, OpTic, they are getting ready to push back up through Banana once more. And we've got, I believe it's Magisk again lurking over there inside of the halls towards A. Is the lone player doing it. The other 4 are stacked up, ready to go. Going against this uneven buy from Splyce, though. That leaves a lot to be questioned here as to whether Splyce are going to be able to hold off. Certainly a chance for them, especially based on the results of previous rounds here. But if OpTic takes it slow and doesn't kind of walk into these setups, they should still be in okay shape to try and get themselves finally up to double digits. Here comes the peek from the CT side. Mixwell was ready for that. They see Roka sitting behind the fountain there. It takes him a moment to get him into the open, but Mixwell again follows through. As Alu got the first kill, Mixwell will pick up the second. And just like that, it's a 5v3 for OpTic with the remaining 3 players on Splyce. Probably saving, as now they're down to 2.
Bet you Semphis is really confused. Our Magic Boy is just hiding in A when Davey and Drone just came for that area. So Semphis loses his AWP, and now... Oh, there we go. Davey taking out Magisk. Look at this. Got ourselves a little Alu on the block. Missing shots. Okay, that's
yeah.
cool. Whatever, it happens.
He's not on the block for very long.
He's just...
It's a quick visit.
Got the chopping block. Too soon?
Well, I believe the other 2 players in Splyce here should be relatively safe. Freiburg, yeah, that's an easy shot for Drone. So Drone's going to connect onto that one, take him down. Another loss. OpTic kind of pushed the envelope on that a little bit. They don't have a huge amount of cash to work with. And it's not like we're heading towards the 29th or 30th round here where it really doesn't make too much of a difference. There's still quite a bit of Counter-Strike to be played here.
Yeah, and look at the money on OpTic. They won that round. And Alu, Freiburg, and Magics have to, they're pretty low on money now.
Now Splyce is going to try to get a little bit cheeky here with the aggression down mid. Unfortunately, most of OpTic do go up alt mid, so they're going to have a bit more of an even battle. It's going okay for them, but at the end of the day, left down into a 3v2 with 2 out of 3 of the players from Splyce still having either a P250 or default pistol. Mitch, though, completely wrecks HS and now leaves everything in the hands of Mixwell. He's traded on to 1 kill as he hides out inside of the pit here in mid. Finds the second one, too, against Semphis. And now this is brought down to a 1v1. Mixwell may have the opportunity to save the day again if he can get this last kill.
Yeah, very aggressive peeking by Splyce. They're up 3-1. Why you guys keep peeking, man? But now Mitch has an op against Mixwell. Doesn't quite know where he's at. Oh, the timing, though. Timing that Mixwell just a little too slow as Mitch is able to fall back out of the apartments. With 50 seconds left. Mixwell kind of, he has some time to work with. Not make a footstep. Don't make a sound, Blue. Mixwell, though, has no idea where Mitch is. He's looking behind him, but Mitch, I think he's in a pretty decent spot. He has to hold that bomb out. There you go. That's the angle you got to hold. Mixwell, is he going to jump across? He's going to die. Oh, they don't walk across. Oh, it's unfortunate.
The old usual playstyle.
The old usual, let's just make it easy.
So Splyce do indeed pull up that little bit of an upset round there, and now the real question is, after all those losses from the round before this one, where does OpTic sit economically? And it's not pretty. You can see it.
They didn't lose all those guns in previous rounds. They could have had more.
They would have had another full buy here,
rifles, or at least something more than a Tech 9 CT.
So the nades being tossed back down. They do pretty much miss their connection on everyone from OpTic there. They got very close to the edge of the half wall here. Splyce got to be careful because, well, that could happen for one. Mixwell's just going to spam through the Paladin, taking down Semphis. Roka trades onto one, but that's it so far. Mix swinging out. He gets two, but HS is there to counter trade it. Now gives the T's control over that B-bomb site. But, interestingly, Magisploy is still here in mid. It's not like he's going to try to pinch, though. He's just going to swing back over to try and help his teammate. But with how much delay he added to his pushback here, he might actually be a little bit late to the site. Looks like he arrives just in time, though.
If Davian Drone's going to take over this back hall, Magisploy is going to try to look behind. Doesn't see anyone, so I'm pretty sure they have a pretty good idea that their back hall's ready. HS, though, is going to lurk through the smoke. You're going to stay in it? You're going to push through? Looks like he's just being patient.
Sitting inside, we need to see if we can get any sound cues to peek back out from this. The thing is that he's going to be a little bit blind moving out from it. As the CTs move in, though, they don't know what to expect. They're going to try to move in, jump on the bomb themselves. Armature will just find the bomb, and now HS swings in, and the great transfer. They get the second kill, too. Secures another round for OpTic, and keeps them in this map for a little bit longer as they secure an 11th round.
Very nice play by HS, and OpTic can clear the round. Previous, though, in the banana, I was very confused what Semphis was doing with his AWP. He was holding such a weird angle in such a common spot to where people spam Molotov. I would say, that's a pretty risky play, especially when you're up 14 and 10. You can kind of limit the risk a little bit, play more methodical and safer. Make OpTic, try to out-aim you instead of you trying to make these guys play.
Well, there's no hesitation at all this time for OpTic as they just swing straight up onto the bomb sites, both sides of the equation on A and B. Ali will get the last kill, and 28 seconds after the round begins, we see a 12th round claimed for OpTic. Splyce will have to wait a little bit here, as I believe they'll just end up half-buying on this round.
Yeah, I'd just buy a pistol, just try to save up. You have plenty of rounds to work with. Don't just buy this half-buy and lose money. Save up a lot, and then I'll call timeout next round, and just to regroup, refocus our thoughts and everything, and to make sure we know what game plan we're going to run with.
Well, they'll have Mixwell lead the charge on Banana for yet another round here. He'll be supported pretty close behind by Freiburg, but the CTs have taken a bit of a risk this time, and they've also gone for a 4-1 stack, this time towards B, whereas we saw most of them happening towards A previously. 1 CZ in the equation on Semphis. Everyone else working with either the default pistol on Mitch, or like the other 3 on a P250. And OpTic, after moving to the top of Banana, not doing much right now. Just keeping it back as they play into the default again, trying to weigh their options out before they commit to anything.
Freiburg trying to peek here. Doesn't see anything yet. Splyce playing very patiently. Had 3 along that dark wall and new box area. Semphis kind of trying to do a crossfire here, and we only have Davey alone in this A bomb site. I think OpTic knows this. They're sneaking in the middle with no contention at all. So this will allow them to work angles and start slowly pushing him up like a python.
Oh, Magisk sneaking towards it here now. Gonna try to find Davey, but Davey holds on. Only 20 HP, but he does get the kill. However, he will be traded out by HS moments later as OpTic end up sneaking into the site there. And that's pretty much the end of it again due to the 4-man stack from Splyce on the other side of the map. There's not much else that they can work with here.
Freiburg watching the flank, does spot one person off. But OpTic, they're playing a little more disciplined this time around, not giving up easy guns in the previous rounds. Freiburg finally takes out Semphis, and now it's Mitch and Drone. It's up to them to get any exit kills possible, trying to salvage a rifle. Every gun counts at this point in the game, especially when the game's so close.
Yeah, a few more kills rolling back out as now Drone is able to find Freiburg. They know he's still down there too, so Alu's sitting back, he's waiting for his opportunity to kill him, and finally he's going to get it. Knocks out his opponent, and for Mitch, unless he peeks that, there's nothing to be found from this position. He doesn't have anything to save either, but still sits behind it and just lets himself stay alive going into the next round.
We'll see what kind of strat Splyce comes out. I don't mind the aggressive play by Splyce. There you go, here's a tactical pause. I don't mind the aggressive play by Splyce. I just hope they do it smartly, maybe get a kill or two, and then fall back. Make the team, if you're up in numbers, make the other team execute on you. Make them throw nades, make them enter the bomb site. They have to check the angles. Because at that point, all you need is one more kill. You know, you get 2 kills off the bat. You know, 5 on 3 makes things a lot easier, Blue. You don't have to force it. You don't have to push it. Stay back.
Well, the purchases are rolling in here now, and we'll have to see what the buy looks like. I think he got a double op, actually. We'll have to see it from their perspective.
Splyce wants to double up.
I think so, because I think I saw 2.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Double.
Did see that correctly.
Up double.
So Mitch and Semphis picking it up this time. Yeah, looks like they'll just split it 1 for 1 on the sites instead of stacking them both towards A.
I saw Roka up on overpass one of the rounds, and now Mitch is going to op on this one.
Mitch is not trustworthy. We haven't really seen a whole lot of good stuff from him in either of these maps so far. Semphis, he's going to get pushed back now. This is a quick play from OpTic to try and get control of the mid choke point. Now we'll swing back around. Davey sits back behind the boxes themselves and away from this position, but everyone else on OpTic, after pushing through the mid choke point, well, they really don't accomplish a whole lot there besides really just pushing back the CTs. And now they're looking to posture up on Banana as well and exercise a little bit of control here if they can swing it.
As you see here, we do have only 1 person from the Splyce lineup in this B bomb site. Roka, though, Molotoving off to slow it down. This causes to rotate, though Davey gets picked off by Magic's Boy. And now Mitch and Semphis are trying to rotate a little early. But OpTic playing it patient. They're not coming to any bomb site yet after the first kill, making Splyce sweat a little bit. But it looks like OpTic will be hitting this B bomb site. So we have at least 4 people here for Team OpTic.
It's a good thing they kept Mitch here then, as he can immediately impact. He's already swung in and found Mixwell. Moore trying to push back in, but the one player that was lurking into A, and it has been on previous rounds too, also goes down. Drone finds Magisk, and now they're going to try to change up the narrative a little bit and swing themselves over towards A, where actually it has worked out to a certain degree, because it's still only just Drone sitting here. He's got plenty of grenades to try and hold off the hit for a couple of extra seconds, and now he's got Semphis to support. They weren't expecting Drone to be on the site at all. Gets 1 more kill before going down, and with 8 seconds remaining, OpTic should be able to get this plant.
Even though it's 2 on 3 in favor of Splyce, OpTic has a pretty good pit setup, and it's going to be up to the 2 operators. It's going to be really hard for Splyce to retake with 2 ops. They're going to have to hit this first shot, and then they'll be able to pull out the pistols and maybe charge the last guy. As Alu takes out Roka. Now it's a 2 on 2 with 2 ops. It's going to be very hard. Splyce might even think about saving these guns.
Yeah, OpTic's set up here now, but it's all going to depend on how Mitch works out on his push here. Al is waiting for it. It's an easy shot for him to make, and Semphis, well, he had already pushed out from Library, so there's no escaping the fight at that point. OpTic close the gap once again and tie this up at 14-all.
Oh, this has to be so heartbreaking for Splyce. 2 games, up 11-4, losing the lead. And now they're looking really in trouble on this map as well.
It's a crucial mistake there for Mitch, as he did give himself up before he pushed back in, so they knew he was going to repick it. The butt of his rifle being shown.
But
it's not even the butt, actually, that's the barrel. But
it happens.
just terms, you know.
You never know.
I'm sure we mess up like magazine and clip like 7 times a day.
It happens to us. It's okay. We all make mistakes. We're human. Just like Splyce, they're a bunch of humans. Maybe except for Davey. I'm on the fence if he's human or not.
I don't get where you're getting this from. I've met him. He's like, he's a pretty normal dude.
That's what he wants you to think, but I know he's not normal. I looked into his eyes, Blue. He's not a normal guy.
Well, Roka is going to be sitting here, I believe, on top of another one of his teammates. Mitch sits on the bottom side of that one. And Mixwell just rips the other 2 to shreds there. Roka and Semphis going down. Just Davey and Drone left alive. Drone trying to pick off some heads, but not a lot of luck so far. And the repeat is now going to be dangerous, as at most, he's going to look to find a few kills. And Davey, maybe an exit or 2 from Banana. That would be it, though. OpTic is indeed going to be pushing up to 15 rounds. And the 1 more will seal the deal for the second map.
Just need 1 more in Davey. Davey and Drone trying to get a kill. They need to pick up a rifle or an AWP would be great. But Magisk, he's always behind people. He's somehow always flanking people, which is impressive to me. He's that little lurker guy, sneaky snake.
I don't think he's going to find him, though. He's being like super passive in this position there. Oh, might now.
There we
go. He peeked it.
And now it is match point for Team OpTic. If OpTic wins, they win the map.
That's correct.
If Splyce wins, it goes into OT. The pressure is on Splyce Blue. Another lead thrown away. They don't care.
It's unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate. It makes me sad a little bit.
Well, they do have a double upset if they try and play on this 30th round. We'll have to see if they can try and close out and at least get up to 15 and take this into OT. Where, again, there are actually more points on the line, if I recall the way that they're doing the scoring now with OTs as well. If you can get it to OT, then you will have the potential of, at the very least, picking up a couple league points. It could push you into the top 6 at the end of the season. Magic, though, shutting down Drone right at the start of this round. Semphis also being, I believe, dinked down to 3 HP, and Mitch getting tagged once or twice in a 74-2. It is looking like a bit of a struggle here for OpTic. They're trying to brute force their way through the apartments, but so far, it's not looking too good. Davey gets lucky there, finds HS without a gun in hand after he just took down one player on his own regard there. So a little bit of trade back, but Freiburg moves in, puts it right back under the control of OpTic as they sit only 2 kills away from controlling this map.
This is not that good. It's 2-on-4 for OpTic. They're about to get the bomb down here any second. Broka's going to try to make a move through smokes, but gets caught off by Alu. And now it's up to Mitch. 1-on-4 with an AWP. Switches up to the M4. Or M4-1.
Mitch trying to swing out there, trying to make the hero play. Blinds himself in the process, though. And I think, okay, he was trying to trade out again there. I think he double tapped it or something, though, or picked up the AWP by accident. And now he's being loud about this, though, so they're going to know he's coming. Flashbang, actually, it's a great flashbang, and he's almost got that second kill, too. He does go down to Alu at the end of the day, though, and with that, OpTic will take control of this second map, taking tonight's series 2-0, and also closing out 16-14 here on Inferno. Very close maps, almost an upset 2 times in a row for Splyce, but they just could not pull it off.
No, they couldn't, and I think it has to do with playing not to lose instead of playing to win. It's a mental game. And Splyce, they've shown that they can hang, they can take the lead and be in control of the map, but
second half for whatever reason too, and it was on both CT side and T side where they
It's a mental game. So it comes down to mental game. Like, you have to play to win. You can't play not to lose. There's a big difference, ladies and gents. Just letting you know.
Well, with Splyce losing that second map and the first map as well, we are going to once again take it over to our analysis desk, who will break it down this final match of the evening.
Showing there by OpTic that most certainly probably going to go to the drawing board with. I believe that they were they had pressure put on them, and then now obviously prevailing. What can they look to improve on going forward, guys?
Splyce in that first half, man, even their T side, it was so simplistic. They got away with basically 1 round scrimming up mid, another round rushing B, another round walk exploding apps, and those are 3 rifle rounds that result in ecos. So I feel like they're even fortunate to put together the T side they did in the first half, considering how simply they played. It does speak to how badly OpTic were handling the rushes, so it did make a lot of sense for them to do it. But problems on both sides. And then you move to the second half, and obviously, just as we were talking about the accolades, like you've got 5 players that have so much resilience because they're so used to being in this position in many, many situations with way more high pressure, and we're able to just like pedal through it 1 round at a time.
Now, interesting enough to note, across both maps, it was an 11-round. It was an 11-4 on both halves for Splyce, and then, you know, able to do nothing with that, right? But when I do say the number 11, let's go ahead and take a look now at round number 11. Walk us through this one, Scrum.
Yeah, so this is the round where, I mean, Launders just touched on how simplistic things were thrown the way of OpTic by Splyce. This was the round where they actually just walk contact B outside of apartments, and then it's going to be a big play here from Davey. Not only does he get that kill onto Freiburg inside of the bomb site, knocking him down and allowing for that bomb to push forward, but then we get this kind of play where he gets close to the smoke grenade and then pushes up, clears out that man, whips back, and will take those next 2 kills. And I mean, this just goes to show me that there was the ability for individual performance on the side of Splyce, because this round in and of itself that got Splyce 9-2 is actually what allowed for them to then further to 11-2 and so on. Again, they have the ability to kind of put up these very one-sided, very successful halves, but then I look at the second half of that map and I see no plays along those lines. I see, you know, much more kind of reserved gameplay, kind of along the lines to what DeBears was saying about playing not to lose as opposing to playing to win. That right there is a round-winning play and something that I think went absent later on.
The follow-up just not being there.
Exactly.
You're not capitalizing on that initial 11 rounds, not being able to close it out. which ultimately did doom them at the end of the day. But we do talk about the resilience. We do talk about the players over on the Splyce side of this. Davey is one that certainly sticks out in this matchup in both maps and showing that sort of dominance that he was able to bring to the table. Not enough at the end of the day, but definitely something that they could probably work with.
A good sign for sure. Yeah.
We're going to take a look at our second replay here. It's going to be round 22. Launders, you want to grab this one?
Yeah, so this is a round where and we're looking at the angle that Davey had, and it was a little bit too shallow. It actually let everybody out of apps, and he expected people to jump pit, but this put everyone in danger because they had no lane support, and now that they're pushing up to the site, Drone is the only one here. It doesn't even get one. Freiburg takes him out. They plant the bomb, and it's completely over. One of the more critical moments in the second half, and after they put the bomb down, there's not even a chance for a retake. And you wonder, is this a situation where you do want to abuse pit if you're not going to be playing the site? Because pit is one of the most overpowered spots to hold A from. It was a spot that Big used versus SK over and over again when SK kept trying to hit A, even without having anybody at bracket or arch to defend from. And there they just had 2 on site, whereas like crossfires are like an integral part of CT-sided CS.
I think on top of that play as well, in that moment where we see Roka then lurk up into the apartments, and I believe it was still Mitch who was alive, that was 3 players up at that portion of the round right there where, as you said, it's already been lost. And then at the end of that round, 2 of those players actually die. So again, that's something that I think Splyce could have definitely worked on and should look on moving forward, is keeping your players alive in save rounds. I mean, DeBears was very animated in criticizing them for losing those men, because I think that when it came down to the eco rounds, where you're only playing with Kevlar and Pistol, OpTic just seemed to be in a much better spot when it came to those sorts of situations. Economy control was something that I think Splyce let slip a little from them. They were still able to win some rounds off of pistols, and that's great, but in order to heighten the chances of that occurring more and more often, especially when you already have an 11-4 half, you are so close to winning. You just need 1 or 2 of those fluke rounds to go your way. You really want to maximize your opportunities, and I think that, letting those moments slide through your fingers is definitely not going to help.
Just unable to push it past that sort of invisible barrier, if you will. But a very visible barrier in this server would have been Alu. Alu for OpTic was able to put down tremendous firepower and really kind of pushing OpTic from a fragging side of things, kind of giving them that sort of leeway.
Yeah, there was a lot of opping, and I think especially on Overpass, there were way too many openings for him, which was a big issue. Like in their default, Ali was finding the first kill constantly, and sometimes even getting 2 or 3. So he was hitting shots, but further, Splyce weren't doing a good job of giving him a hard time, and their op was never as effective. So he never had somebody to really stand against or make him afraid to peek something, and that just gave him confidence that allowed him to roll further on.
Well, in case you are just joining us, you're a little late to the party, but that's certainly okay because you can head over to youtube.com/ESLCS, grab that VOD, show your friends, maybe learn something about the game along the way. But definitely one to look at in terms of this OpTic lineup going forward. I think that they're going to have tremendous maybe success here in NA. They are still currently undefeated. They're now sitting at 6-0 after tonight, and maybe it's something they can run with here.
Yeah, I think that, again, this was definitely their hardest opponents of the 3 that they've played against. They still haven't been tested as far as another top-tier contender, in my opinion, having beat, again, Ghost, Rogue, and now Splyce, and especially considering that Splyce came so close.
Well, Splyce did come so close, but they didn't close it out. Let's take a look at today's matches as we do come to a close on the match day number 5. Renegades and Complexity not quite going the full distance there, both 16-10, 16-7 score lines there across Mirage and Train. And as you can tell, OpTic Gaming and Splyce going to 2 maps a little bit closer than I think anybody was anticipating, and Inferno being the closer of the 2 bouts. We're going to switch the page now over to the standings here at ESL Pro League North America. And you will see OpTic sitting at a pretty 6-0, ahead of SK, ahead of a team like Liquid. Even Renegades is up there at the head of the pack this early in the season. So right now, are any of these teams standing out to you guys in terms of maybe they need to find their way up to the top?
I think, yeah, for like SK to have 2 losses this early on is kind of a red flag. But then you look at OpTic and they have pretty much 6 easy wins. No offense, but Splyce is the best team they played. The last 2 teams they played are probably going to finish like maybe last or second last in Pro League. So they got their easy wins, though. Everyone's going to have the opportunity to play whoever's going to be at the bottom of Pro League, which is just really good that you have those things settled, whereas SK have losses versus teams that might make playoffs but might not, and so they just have to make sure that those losses don't pile up because they could very easily get excluded from Odense.
You don't want to be excluded from Odense. Let's take a look at the European side of the equation now as we take a look at these standings here. This early into the season, it is a little bit harder to kind of nail down and put a finger on who is going to the playoffs or anything of that sort. We're not close to the playoff race yet. But which teams are sticking out to you, Scrawny?
I mean, I think that obviously seeing FaZe up there is kind of nice to see. And then I think it's kind of interesting to translate that over to North America as well, where you have, FaZe 2.0 in OpTic also topping their leaderboards. Again, I want to emphasize what you just said in that it's very early on in the season and that we really can't jump the gun. But it's cool to see that these, types of international rosters can clearly find success.
Which is such a cool thing to see. I think that there's a lot of potential if you can get all these powerhouse names to come together and become a well-oiled machine, a good running unit. They can really build upon that and find a lot of success. Let's take a look at tomorrow's matches, though, as I won't be joining you, but we'll have Mr. Blue himself over here on the desk. We've got OpTic Energy and Immortals and Cloud9 on the main stream. Then over on the secondary stream, we're going to be looking at Rogue and Misfits, followed by Ghost and Luminosity. Which match are you guys looking at as your highlight?
Oh, wow. I just realized this is a good opportunity for OpTic to go 8-0. I mean, Energy might be the next in line after all of those three teams that they played that maybe won't get that far. Energy is a big question mark. We don't know how well they're going to play. And as for Immortals Cloud9, well, I'm just stoked for that.
Yeah, I think that's certainly the one you got to look for, right? The Immortals Cloud9. Scrawny, who's your favorite in NA Pro League at this moment in time?
Favorite team?
No, yeah, favorite team. Win or not, who's your favorite team, Scrawny?
It's a pretty big question, Senna.
You've
put me on the spot.
Surprise.
All right. I'm just gonna have to say SK.
All right, well, we'll deal with that. That's fine. That's for another time. That does it for us here on match day number 5 of ESL Pro League North America. My name is Stun. I'm signing off alongside Scrawny and Launders. It's been great joining you guys for the night. We'll see you tomorrow.